How do you know if you have the entire AML stack for your organization? What that means is, do you have all the components and all the technologies in place to be able to comply? And so I'm here to simplify that for you. Some of it may seem like an oversimplification, but it should allow you to get a good structure for the components and technologies you need to have in place to comply. Number one is good old-fashioned KYC. Now, KYC is a large umbrella. I understand it. It covers multiple things, and many people consider it to cover many aspects of AML, and they're probably right. But really, for a bank or a financial institution or fintech and others, what that means is to be able to collect documents, information, and other details about a customer when they're onboarding them or at the time of re-KYC in a seamless manner so that it doesn't impact business and yet they're able to comply. That's number one. A lot of it has to do with workflows, and a lot of that it has to do with understanding local regulations and global regulations. Number two, which I like to call CIP, even though CIP, Customer Identification Program, is again an overlapping concept, means to be able to verify, validate, and have confidence in the information that a customer has given in the first place, that is in KYC. Now, globally, this is an exploding area with a number of players pushing APIs to do ID verification, which is a big part of it. And so that's number two. And a lot of fraud, a lot of compliance issues, a lot of bad actors are caught in this stage. Number three has to do with screening. Now that you've done KYC, now that you have confidence on their information, you should be able to screen them. And screen them against what? Sanctions, PEPs, country watch lists, international watch lists, internal watch lists, as per your policies. In addition to that, you also then plug this into CRR, customer risk rating, at the time of onboarding. I do want to point out that this customer risk rating is different from credit risk rating, which is more financial in nature. Customer risk rating has to do with the categorization of a customer as high, medium, and low from an AML or money laundering point of view. And so this analytical engine takes in inputs from KYC, ID verification, and screening to be able to come up with a score at the time of onboarding, but its sort of play does not stop there. It actually goes on through the life cycle of the customer, because as things change in KYC, in ID verification, in screening as new alerts come up, and transaction monitoring, which is the next step, which I'm going to just bring up, the score changes. And so you could see customers go from high to medium, medium to low, low to high, and vice versa. So this is an important component, analytical engine. Then there's transaction monitoring, which does effectively what screening does for names, transaction monitoring does for transactions. Again, it's simplification, but that's a good analogy. So you would put in scenarios for suspicious scenarios for transactions, and you would look at either live suspicious transactions or cumulative suspicious transactions. And finally, all of this information goes into regulatory reporting. And different countries have different regulatory requirements, but effectively it is the filing of STR, SAR, audit trails, of cases, of histories, and others. And you should have the ability and the component to be able to accurately report, manage this data for the regulators, because they will probably want to go back in time. So these 6 components, which has to do with KYC, CIP or ID verification, screening, customer risk rating, transaction monitoring, and regulatory reporting, effectively make up the backbone of the AML stack, or the technologies and components that you need to have in place. And once you have these, once you have a map in place, that's when you know you're on the right path. I hope that helps.